Hey guys, my name is Bara and I'm the owner of Shy Battery Systems. Today I'm happy to show you how we're going to upgrade the OneWheel V1 to the CBV1 battery system upgrade. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by removing this rear foot pad here, and you do that with the 1/8 inch Allen key. And what I like to do is keep the screws exactly where I got them from, and we'll put them off to the side. All right, we're gonna move over to the front foot pad. And once you get the screws off, you've got to find this collar here, which is right here, the front collar. And it sometimes can be a bit difficult, so you got to do it with your dominant hand. And you want to turn that front collar counterclockwise. And then you can pull that connector back and the foot pad will come off. And now we can flip the board over and we'll take these bumpers off. Well, really just the back bumper. And now we can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then this cover will come off. We'll place that to the side. And the next step is to unscrew 1, 2, 3, 4 with the Phillips screwdriver. All right, and now we need to remove this connection here, and you can do that by pulling on that white tab and then wiggling the connector left and right. You've got to be very careful with this wiring harness here, because this is where a lot of those error 16s and other errors can come from, so you got to be very gentle with it and remove it completely before removing the battery housing. And now we can pull that battery housing out and put the rest of the board to the side. All right, and now next we're going to want to take our 3/32 inch Allen key and remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bolts. And then afterwards you can take the Phillips and remove these 5. So let's do that. Okay, and then after you remove all the screws, we can remove the lid. And to get this battery out, we're going to want to remove all of this tape here and throw that to the side. We can pull the entire battery up. We're going to need to unplug this connector here and then unplug this connector here. That goes to the wiring harness. Now this whole assembly, along with this divider and this foam can be put off to the side. We will not be using them. Okay, and then the only modification that's going to be needed for this mod is you're going to have to measure 12 millimeters. Let me do it this way. 12 millimeters from the left wall, which will look just like so. 12 millimeters, and we're going to mark that. All right, and then from the top, we're gonna do 17 millimeters. Doesn't have to be perfect, but as accurate as you can get. Now, right at that intersection, we're gonna wanna drill an 11mm hole. So the first thing we're gonna do is a small pilot hole to make sure that we're on track, and it looks like we are. And then we should be able to go right up to our 11mm diameter bit. Okay, so once you've drilled this hole out and you've cleaned off any burrs, if you'd like to make this a little bit more waterproof, what you can do is put a little bead of silicone on the outside, right in this area, right here. And you can pop this switch right in place, making sure that there is no gap between the switch and the wall. And then we're gonna take our top of the switch and screw that on, like so. And you want to do it hand tight, just to make sure that does not fall off, but also that it's waterproof. And then this battery can sit right in place, like so, making sure that all of these wires here are along the edge. You don't want them under the battery. You want them all the way to the farthest corner. All right, now you may not have these wires going over the battery. Yours might come out right from the side. All right, so once you've got this guided right over this part of the battery, right in this area, if you do have these wires, all we're gonna do is plug this connector in and make sure that it's not gonna get pinched by the lid. We don't need to do anything with this connector. And once everything is nice and flush, we can put our lid back on, flip this over, and tighten it. All right, now once our housing is all secured and screwed together, we'll just insert it. Make sure not to put it upside down. Just match it with the controller up top. And you're gonna push it as far as it goes until all these inserts line up. And then that wiring harness needs to be handled very gently. And we can make this connection and secure that clip. Now what you can do is start replacing all of the wire protection. All right, so now you're gonna need the short screws, which will go 1, 2, 3, 4.
You only want to keep these hand tightened. You don't really want to use power tools or too much torque or you'll strip the insert.
Okay, and then we can grab our bumper along with these screws here. Alrighty, now we can grab our wire protector here. Being very careful to guide that harness wire bundle in. And then we can have our 2 screws. Alrighty, now we can flip this over and we can start reinstalling our foot pads. So we'll do the front foot pad first. There's a notch at the top of this connector. That's gonna go to the, in the up position. So we'll plug that in all the way, and then we can turn it clockwise and making sure that it's fully inserted. Now we can replace our 4 screws. I am missing 1 screw, so. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and put the back foot pad, and we're gonna have our 4 screws. All right, now we're all complete. If you have a fender, go ahead and reinstall it. Okay, so after that, I'll tell you a little bit about the functionality, about how this mod will actually affect your board. So you might notice that this on-off switch does not work anymore. It's not gonna turn on. You actually have a new on-off switch, which is the hidden switch right in this corner right over here. Now you shouldn't worry, this is a perfectly waterproof button, and it's far away from the wheel, so you're not gonna have any damages there. So it's a little bit of a added benefit with security. And your app will still work, but the percentage will be completely off. None of that is going to work, just like our other CBXR and Quart and XXR mods. That won't work anymore. The new way is going to be just like our standard. We have a graph available in the sales page images, and you're going to compare the voltage, which is in the board settings under battery voltage, with the chart that's in the sales page images, and that'll give you an approximation for range. But you can expect very close to near XR range, if not a little bit better, depending on the lighter riders. Yeah, you're pretty much all set.